Is 30 minutes, or are 30 minutes enough? Well, yes, physically it's enough. But what we're thinking about is this total fitness. And again, I'm thinking of this three-level sort of situation. And if you think of it over the ages, what the experts in all these functions of the self have asked us for is an hour a day. So the physiologists want an hour a day for our body. The thinkers want an hour a day for our mind. And the preachers want an hour a day for our soul. And we see this. Physiologists can prove it. You can go and give this hour a day and get on the treadmill, and in 12 weeks your physical work capacity increased 300 or 400%. Now, what about the thinkers? I remember a quote from Emerson. He said, "I believe that to every well-ordered mind," and we can all have a well-ordered mind, "comes a thought each day." Comes a thought each day. So he said, thinkers since the time of Pythagoras have set aside an hour a day to go and see what the oracle has to impart. What I find is I take this hour from my body, and I'm also going consulting the oracle, because I'm able to think while I'm running. As far as your soul is concerned, I remember a book by Father Henri Nouwen, who is a lecturer and teacher and writer, a Belgian priest who at one point was so caught up with his lecturing and teaching and writing while he was preaching meditation and solitude that he had no time for meditation and solitude. So he finally decided to take a step back, and he went to a Trappist monastery in Genesee, New York, which is outside of Rochester, 7 months. So he wrote a book called A Genesee Diary. And in that, he discovered, he took this step back and spent the 7 months, but when he was coming out, he realized he was still Henri Nouwen. He had not changed. He was fine in the monastery, but he knew as soon as he got outside, he was going to be in the same situation. So he went to the abbot and he said, "What am I going to do?" And the abbot said, "You must take Genesee with you." He said, "You have to take this experience with you and spend an hour each day renewing it." And so you see, this whole thing, this whole fitness thing is to bring these three forces together, the body, mind, and soul. Get that hour. Take that step back that Henri Nouwen did. Oddly enough, when he went in the monastery, they immediately assigned him the kitchen to make bread, and he had to go out and collect rocks to build a chapel. Then he had his little cell where he could go to and meditate, and then he had the community where he was drawing the spiritual strength. We can do the same thing. We can go out. We have that hour for our body to perfect that body. Going back to the philosophers, you see Thoreau saying our first duty is to make to ourselves a perfect body. Spencer, the philosopher, said, and he was thought at that time to be the most intelligent man in England back in the mid-1800s. In his treatise on education, he said, "If you wish to be a success in this life, you must be first a good animal." And you see that again and again in the philosophers. They call us animals. That's the substrate. Then they put adjectives: social, technological, problem-solving, theological. Whatever you do, however you function humanly, you begin as this animal, to be the best possible animal, to have all that energy. You see, our terrible tendency is not to cheat other people, it's to cheat on the self.